an original podcast from podlatino.com.
When we talk about rock, it's impossible not to name them. The Rolling Stones are not just a band, they are a cultural phenomenon, a tireless machine of rhythm, attitude, and scandal. Since the 1960s, they've proven that age and time mean nothing when your bond with music is genuine. In this episode, we travel through their history, their hits, their chaos, and how, against all odds, they're still rocking. It all began in London in 1962. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, two young men obsessed with American blues, bumped into each other at a train station and realised they shared a passion for Chuck Berry, Muddy Waters, and Howlin' Wolf. That lucky encounter gave birth to one of the longest-running bands in history. With Jagger's wild charisma and Richards' cutting guitar, the Stones quickly found their identity. They wouldn't be polite or polished like the Beatles. They would be the dark, raw, sexy counterpart. While the Beatles sang about holding hands, the Stones snarled with "I Can't Get No Satisfaction" and made desire and defiance their brand. Brian Jones, Bill Wyman and Charlie Watts completed the classic lineup. Brian brought experimentation, Charlie a steady, flawless beat, Bill a solid groove. Their debut album was an immediate hit, but what followed was a string of rock anthems: Paint It Black, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Sympathy for the Devil, Gimme Shelter. Each song marked a moment in time. Each riff became unforgettable. But fame brought chaos, drugs, arrests, internal clashes. In 1969, Brian Jones was forced out of the band due to his spiraling addiction. Just weeks later, he was found dead in his swimming pool. He was only 27. His death added to the Stones' dark myth, but it also marked a new, more raw and focused phase. That same year, during a free concert at Altamont, a concertgoer was murdered by the Hells Angels, who had been hired as security. What was meant to be the Stones' answer to Woodstock turned into its grim opposite. The press called it the end of the innocence of rock. Despite it all, the Stones pushed forward. With Mick Taylor and later Ron Wood on guitar, they released iconic albums like Sticky Fingers, Exile on Main Street, and Some Girls. Keith Richards, despite his legendary drug binges, became indestructible. And Jagger, with his feline moves and commanding presence, became the ultimate frontman. Through the decades, they never stopped evolving. In the 80s, they adapted to the times. In the 90s, they returned to their roots. In the 2000s, they proved they could still sell out stadiums worldwide. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, while the world paused, they released new music. Charlie Watts, their quiet but essential drummer, passed away in 2021. It was a heavy blow. But true to their legacy, the Stones kept moving. With Steve Jordan behind the kit and Charlie's spirit ever present, they released Hackneyed Diamonds in 2023, an album that stunned with its vitality. So what makes the Rolling Stones eternal? Perhaps it's the unbreakable bond between Jagger and Richards. Perhaps it's authenticity. Perhaps it's the perfect blend of rebellion, blues, and elegance. Or maybe it's simply the fact that they never stopped loving what they do. Today, more than 60 years after their formation, they're still on tour, still writing, still dancing. Because some pacts don't break, and the Rolling Stones' pact with rock is one of them.